Every week, someone asks me, Raheel, what do you think about this particular business, or what do you think about that particular industry? And before I look at the business, these are the 5 questions which I would like to get an answer for. Not because I'm trying to make a decision difficult, but because the quality of those questions determine the quality of the investment and the business potential. So today I will be sharing the exact framework which I use before I make any investment in a business. So the question number 1, which I always prefer to ask is there a proven demand of the business or a product and a service which you are trying to sell? Because I do not want to reinvent the wheel from the beginning. I'm not going to create a next Uber or next Facebook, right? I want to make sure that there is an existing proven demand of that business, the product or a service which you are trying to launch. Because we always look for the businesses where the people already understand the value and we do not have to create one. So for example, commercial cleaning businesses, car wash businesses, child care business, kids education business, home healthcare business, home services business. Those are the type of businesses which already have a proven demand in the market. Question number 2, which I always prefer, is that does the business generate a sufficient of a cash flow? Because the revenues might be very high and the revenues look impressive, but the cash flow is the blood life of the business. And we always ask the questions like, how quickly does the money come into the business? How long before the expenses were paid? And is the working capital or the operating capital of the business is manageable? Because a business can be a very profitable on papers, but it can still struggle for the cash flow. Because remember, I do not invest in revenues, I invest in a cash flowing business. The next question which I always ask is, can the business scale? Because I do not want to enter into a diminishing industry. So for example, if somebody bring a proposal to me for a traditional gas station business, then I would be less interested because we know that with the evolution of an EV vehicles, the gas station business is a diminishing industry until and unless the gas station is on a main highways where you can still fuel the trucks or the heavy vehicles. But for a regular traditional day-to-day businesses, the businesses are transitioning from gas to EV. So I would try to avoid that business. So, and also I would like to see the scalability of the business. Like, can I expand the business geographically? Can I open a multiple locations without a heavy investments? Can I expand my area of service and customers? Can I bring more audience? Can I serve more audience? And important factor is, can the business survive without the owner presence? Because if the business needs an owner presence to generate its revenue, then you are just buying a job, you are not building a business. The next question I would ask is, what are the business risks involved in the project? Because we understand that every business has risks. And naturally, we are not trying to move away from the risk, because entrepreneurship is all about the risk. It's just like we want to make sure that we are well informed and well prepared for the risk so that we can make a well educated and well informed decision. And last but not the least is that what is the exit strategy or exit planning from the business? And trust me, this is one of the questions which most of the new investors, they do not even bother to ask our question. Because most of the times people build businesses to make a legacy, while I personally believe that in any business, before even I plan to enter, I want to make an exit plan. Like, can I sell this business one day? Can I scale this business to a stage where I can go for a mergers and acquisitions? Because the more than the money which I would make in operating the business, I know that at a great exit planning and an exit strategy, I can make a good money on the exit of a business. So my suggestion to you is, if you are planning to invest, buy or start or launch a new business, then ask these 5 questions before you make any investment decision. This will give you a clarity, a clear path of not only your entry, but also to the exit of the business. Thank you.